Hello and welcome to Everyday Tarot, your daily dive into the divine wisdom of the tarot. I'm your host, Camille A. Saunders, healer, tarot extraordinaire, and your local witch next door. And today I'm talking about the Knight of Pentacles. Whether you're a seasoned tarot reader or just starting to explore, this podcast offers daily insights, intuitive messages, and practical advice drawn from the cards. Each episode is designed to help you connect with your inner wisdom, find clarity in your decisions, and tap into the energy of the universe. Tune in every day, Monday through Friday, for fresh perspectives and empowering guidance from the tarot as interpreted by me. If you're loving the show, the best way to support it is by listening daily, leaving a review, and subscribing or following in your favorite podcast app. If you want to support me in other ways, you can, for monthly hangouts or tarot Q&As, you can join the Everyday Tarot Patreon family. If you're local to the greater Puget Sound, join me at my next event, Monday, May 12th. In the evening at the Summer Library for a potluck and crafting your own tarot cards. If you're interested in my free PDF with the 2025 5-card tarot spread I created just for you at the beginning of this year, you can get that by joining my newsletter list. And finally, if you don't already know, I'm a sex and relationships therapist, seeing clients virtually all over Washington State. I love working with queer, poly, and witchy clients who might be struggling with anxiety, chronic pain or illness, communication issues, self-advocacy, and sex. If you'd like to work with me, you can book a free 20-minute consultation now to see if we're a good fit to work together. And you can find the links for any of these offers in the show notes or on my website, CamilleASaunders.com/everydaytarot. All right, so welcome to Season 7, where I'm talking all about the Suit of Pentacles. If you haven't listened to my other seasons, you should go ahead and check those out. I've talked tarot basics, the major arcana, tarot and pop culture, tarot spreads, and the Suit of Wands, just to name some of my prior seasons, and in this season we're talking all about the Suit of Pentacles. If you want to hear an overview dedicated to the whole Suit of Pentacles, you can check out Season 3, Episode 13, and today I'm talking about the Knight. So, images or symbols associated with this specific card are, again, like knights depicted, like often on horseback. There's this sort of driven energy or idea, like action, movement, looking at some of the cards that I've pulled from some of my decks. So in the Desert Illuminations Tarot by Lindsay D. Williams, the pentacles are depicted as cactus. And so in this image, there's like an alien sitting on the back of a cow holding like a large cactus in their palm. We see another cow in the background and then a UFO sort of up above. Again, sort of as this deck's version of like a knight on horseback. In the Anima Mundi Tarot deck by Megan Weiwer-Wenden, we see I think a gray wolf. Again, sort of in that we see them in profile, looking in one direction, just again sort of indicating that knight on horseback. We see tall trees in the background, a starry sky, and this wolf looks very, again, sort of driven, forward-looking, and like possibly they hear something. Their ears are perked up there. And then in the Goddess of Love Tarot deck by Gabriella Herstick and illustrated by Julie Popescu, there's like a woman, like statue, that's sort of on horseback, although this horse has a unicorn horn, so I guess they're a unicorn. And then we sort of see red roses and emeralds in the background. The whole background is green as well, and then we get this really large image of a pentagram, but actually it's depicted here as a heptagram, so a 7-sided image, just how the pentacles are depicted in this deck. And in this one, in this particular deck, the Knight of Pentacles is renamed to the Witch of Pentacles. All right, so thinking more about common themes with these cards, in the Library of Esoterica Tarot book by Tashin, they talk about that the Knight of Pentacles is all about persistence and diligence. The Knight of Pentacles demands tasks be executed with patience and care, that hard work and realistic expectations are sometimes the best approach. So again, when we think about like a knight on horseback, right, their focus, they often serve under someone else to carry out the, services. When the wolf depicted in one of these cards, right, wolves are often in a larger pack. They work together to get things done, where they can take on large animals. through, again, that sort of diligence and persistence, often injuring the animal, I think, multiple times before they actually take it down, and then the food is shared among the pack. So interesting there. In the Tarot Astrology book by Corinne Kenner, they talk about that the Knight of Pentacles is associated with Virgo. It says the slow but steady progress of mutable earth. The Knight of Pentacles doesn't fit most people's preconceptions of a knight. They don't move fast, they're not especially flirtatious, and when the rest of the knights ride off on adventures, he usually stays behind to take care of the kingdom's routine border patrols. That's because the Knight of Pentacles embodies the rather disparate combination of fire with earth. Soil doesn't burn. In fact, dirt and sand will actually extinguish most small blazes. He's also an elemental creature of earth, and earth doesn't move on its own. It usually takes an earthquake or an avalanche for such a grounded being to overcome the forces of gravity and inertia that tie him to his favorite plot of land. While all knights are explorers, the Knight of Pentacles surveys the world at a slower pace than most. And again, like they're talking about with earth, right, it doesn't move, or it takes a lot to move it. Also, earth signs are often sort of meanly depicted as stubborn, but right, if you think about if you're really grounded, if you're in that strong earth energy, it's a very like, I cannot be moved, right? Like, you will not sway me. I am here, I'm in my opinions, right? I know what I think to be true, and I'm not going to change that no matter, again, what the winds say, if there's fire, like, I'm not doing that. I am right in that grounded, literally, place, and that is sort of another, I think, a more generous, right, depiction of earth signs. But also the Knight of Pentacles is attuned to the physical needs of desires is more attuned than other people. He wants to master the material world. Once he's on a mission, he's going to finish it no matter how long it takes. They're also very patient and calm and discerning. They represent the mutable earth sign of Virgo. So like his major arcana counterpart, the Hermit, he's conscientious and conservative, driven but cautious, and a bit of a perfectionist. Let's see. Yeah, so that wraps that up there. In the Fearless Tarot book by Elliot Adam, they talk about the Knight of Pentacles is about managing expectations. It represents a need for patience and perspective when our current life does not measure up to our expectations. It teaches us how to use setbacks as opportunities for resilience. Only hindsight will reveal just why something we hoped for or expected didn't quite pan out the way we thought it should have. Life has a way of steering us to even better blessings than the one we expected. Has something not panned out the way you hoped it would? Do you feel bad about the present because you don't have something that you think others have? Are you able to see that the game isn't over yet and there are still marvelous things in store for you? So they're talking about the universe has a way of providing teachable moments, right? Things that we might see as setbacks. Perhaps long term, we might see them as ways for opportunities or growth. And that we can do that by reflecting on things in the past and see how maybe past disappointments made you stronger or led you to even better things than you thought you wanted. All right, so let's dive in and see what the cards have to say today on this topic. I'm going to be pulling from the Citadel, a Fantasy Oracle deck by Ben Inkright. And I'm going to be thinking about, again, how do we have that patience and perseverance energy? How can we stay grounded in our own dreams and opportunities while also allowing the, flexibility or hindsight to examine things that we maybe thought we wanted or thought were the best for us, but in the long term did not end up being that. So I guess, how do we have grace for pursuing the things we want to pursue, but also that we know that the universe has really the best in store for us. I would say personally, like, the universe knows what's best. And even if I think that sometimes there's something I want or that will be the thing in my life that makes everything better, the universe might have other plans. So let's see. I'm going to pull a card here. Ooh, I pulled the Herald. It says small regrets and longing. And there's a picture of like a bunny rabbit or a hare. and then a bunch of snakes at the bottom. So interesting and a little ominous, I will say. All right, so the Herald. Oh, I flipped right to it. Okay, so, and we pulled it upright this time, so I'm going to be reading the upright definition. It says, nimble hands pluck at the strings of a lute, and fragrant smoke curls from beneath the wide brim of a hat. The herald exudes an easy sort of charm that draws others to them as they play their tune. But beneath the smile and easy laugh, there's an undercurrent of melancholy. They think back to the day that their life changed, to the flowers on the hillsides, the hares in the grass, the guard waiting in ambush. Would their fate have been different had they taken a different path back then? Or would it still have turned out the same way? It's easy to get caught up in the what ifs, but if you go forward holding on to all of those little regrets, you're going to miss out on the pleasures of the moment. Be your own herald of change and bring something new and more positive into your life. Don't let the force of your own feelings separate you from finding joy in the path that you're on now. I love that because I feel like that is right when if the Knight of Pentacles is calling us to do some reflection and think about right how things have turned out or what ultimately was better for us. There's also this potential to get caught up in the past and just really focus on that. And the Herald is telling us, right, like, no, don't do that. Don't focus on the regrets or because when you do so, you're going to miss out on things in the moment. All right, so links for the tarot decks I talk about will always be in the show notes and on my website if you'd like to look at them or purchase them. And thanks for joining me today on Everyday Tarot. Just as a reminder, the podcast comes out daily, Monday through Friday for all of 2025. All right, see you soon. Bye-bye.